Hi everyone. In this video, we are discussing a SQL challenge. It's a very basic problem. It's like, we just have to do some basic select. Okay. So it's an easy level problem. And the title of the problem is higher than 75 marks. So here is the problem statement. Let's read the problem statement. Then we'll try to understand the schema given. And then we'll see like how to solve it. Okay. It must be pretty straightforward, right? Okay, so we will have to query the name of any student in this table called students. So they have clearly highlighted this. Okay, so we will have to query the name of any student from this table called as students who scored higher than 75 marks. Okay, so we understand that we will have to do some kind of filtering. Okay, so those students who scored higher than 75 marks, and that is obviously there in the title itself, higher than 75 marks. Okay, and not just we will have to query for those students, we will have to also order the output. So we will get a list of students, right? We will have to order the output. So we know that we have to use order by, so they gave it away, right? So we will have to order the output by the last 3 characters of each name, not even the first 3, it is the last 3. I have no idea why would anyone consider doing that, but that is one of the problem constraints, so we will have to follow that. And if 2 or more students have names ending with the last 3 characters, like in this example, Bobby and Robby, the last 3 characters are same. So in that case, there is a tie. So in order to sort it out, we use secondary ordering using the ID, student ID, right? Ascending order. Right, it's given so. So the input format is going to be like this. This is the table called as students, and it has got only 3 columns: ID, which is integer data type; name, it is a string data type; and marks, that is again integer data type, right? And the name column only contains uppercase letters and lowercase letters, so we don't have to deal with any kind of special characters. Okay. And they have given one sample input also, right? So we have ID, name, and marks, and here we can see the ID, the names of the students, and their respective marks. Okay, and we will have to clearly, from this particular example, we can see that we will have to consider student number 1, 4, and 3. You can notice that the ID is not in proper order. And it doesn't really matter. Okay, we will have to anyways reorder things based on whatever condition they have given. Yeah. So here we can clearly see that we will have to output the first student, Ashley, then Julia and Belvin, because these are the only students to get score marks more than 75. So Samantha, we are not going to count because her mark is 75, but we are looking for students who got score higher than 75. They didn't say higher than or equal to 75, or they didn't say at least 75. So it's strictly higher than 75. So we're not going to count those students who got 75. And of course, we are not going to count anybody who got less than 75, right? And the sample output is going to just be list of names. That's it. We don't have to, output names along with marks. It is just names, but we have to keep in mind that we will have to order them based on the last 3 characters of their name, and also based on if there is a tie, then we will also use secondary ordering based on their student ID, right? And this explanation is, it's pretty obvious. Just now we have discussed, it's the same thing that is mentioned over here, right? And they're also mentioning that, okay, you have to order based on the last 3 letters. It's the same thing, right? Okay, so I'll change it to MySQL. Like I told you, it's a simple, straightforward problem, okay? We will have to select the name of the students, right? Name from the table called students. We will have to select them. Now, what is the filtering criteria? Where. So, that where clause we use in order to filter things, right? So where the marks obtained by the student is strictly greater than 75. Okay, so here we are doing the filtering process. So here we are going to get the list of all the students who are meeting the criteria, and we will have to do order by. Order by, so we have to order it by the last 3 characters of the student's name. So which keyword we are supposed to use here? We will have to use substring, right? We will have to use substring. I'm writing it in short. It's a valid keyword. Substring of name. So apart from names, there are other parameters like where to start and where to stop. So here we will have to count only the last 3 letters. So it's enough for us to put, say, -3. We know that negative indexing is there even in SQL, in MySQL. So we can put -3, and that is the only numeric parameter apart from the name. Because when we put only one parameter, it means that we will have to count all the letters from that particular index. When we give only one index, it means we will have to count all the letters from that particular index till the end. Okay, so when we put -3, it is like -1 is the very last, then comes -2, then comes -3. So from -3, we are counting everything, right? So that is essentially the last 3 characters, right, of the name. Okay, and when there is a tie, we will have to order it by the student ID. Okay, so that also let's mention. Okay, so we will order it by student ID whenever there is a tie between the last 3 characters. Okay, that's it. So let's run our code. Good, it worked. We cleared the test case. Let's submit our code and see if it is clearing all the test cases. So fine. So it's absolutely fine. We cleared the test cases, and so like I told you, it's a pretty straightforward query. So that's it. I hope that you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.